Glorious Townsville in Queensland's tropical north is the venue for round 3 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships for 2011. Situated just minutes away from the Great Barrier Reef, Townsville is the gateway to the beautiful magnetic island and a host of other idyllic tourist destinations. Australia's best offshore superboat teams have descended on Townsville for round 3 of the National Championships. Sunday morning means a race day for the teams. And as the sun rose over the marina, beautiful, calm conditions finally greeted the crews before the boats were carefully launched into the water for the first race of the day. Let's check out the course. It is a different one from what we've seen so far in the championships. Peter "Muddy" McGrath, the crew chief from Maritimo, joins me. Pete, it's an M-shaped course. Take us through it.
Yeah, obviously setup is going to be very important in this race. A lot of corners, a lot of handling. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, something for everyone. If you have the straight line speed, you'll do well. If you have better cornering, you'll do well as well. Okay, conditions. It was a little cloudy early on with slight winds gusting up to about 10 knots from the southwest, but nothing that would concern the racers that much during competition. In fact, relative calm meant it was a perfect opportunity to delight the fans that crammed the Strand to watch the parade of all the boats side by side as they commence their sighting lap in what is surely one of the most glorious sights in Australian motorsport, when these magnificent watercraft thunder past race control. Magnetic Island there in the background. Pete, you would never get tired of watching scenes like this, would you?
Oh, no, definitely not. It's a lovely place to race, so it looks good.
All right, CJ Heim with you. We are ready for a race start here. Round 3, race 1. Look at this. Look at the start. How close is this? Conditions, we haven't seen this all series.
No, first one to the mark is going to make a big difference to this race.
Yeah, and it is a tight turn there, the first marker. As you said, it'll make a big difference. The racers on Mustang looks to be setting the early pace as they've done in pole position. It's something they haven't been done all series. Look at this head-to-head battle with Maritimo. They've been the ones to catch. Now they are chasing Mustang and flying straight into that rooster tail. Although it seems they've cornered a little bit tighter than Mustang did, as we see here the good guys doing the same with Team 3. Look at that manoeuvre. They've come up the inside. They may have taken Team 3 here. Look at that from the aerial, from the Castle Hill camera. Good guys taking it up the inside. That is a gutsy move, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, for sure. But keep your eye on Global, because she's just hanging back and watching what's going at this moment.
Well, BBC Digital isn't doing that. They are powering along, racing up a class in the 600. Smaller boat, but a hell of a lot of power. And here we are on board with BBC Digital. It is the smallest boat in the fleet out there today, but the power to weight ratio, it is huge.
Yeah, they'd be loving that. It's just perfect conditions for them.
Well, that's the thing. The smaller boats should be reveling in conditions that we haven't seen so far this series. Quasi 2 in the 600s. Seem to be off the pace here from the start, Pete. It looks like they've got a problem.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looking at their faces, it's an engine again.
Yeah, round 2 in Mackay wasn't happy hunting ground for them. It doesn't seem Townsville is either. But Mustang, though, is absolutely flying through the field. Overtaken. Well, traffic is now coming into play here from the back markers.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight the washers on the corners now. It's going to be interesting now.
Take us through this cornering. It is such a tight... Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you look at that. That was a bit too tight.
Almost got wet there just looking at that. But the boys on board SUV Dodge Ram didn't, Muddy. That was a massive moment.
Yep, propellers are out of the water. They're sort of just got to hope it comes back the right way and then get straight back on it.
And it did just that. Well, local knowledge could be helpful today. Let's check in on the other locals that are here from Townsville. The boys from Mad Racing. Are they mad? Well, we'll see. Adam Nichols and Mark Taylor. They are part of the Civic Video It's About Time crew. Twin Mercs on board, 2.5 litre engines, pushing them to around about 150 k's an hour top speed. Will they be able to pull that out today? Well, conditions are near perfect, so we will see in time. The boys on board are having, well, it looks like they're having a bit of fun, you'd think, by their facial expressions. We are having plenty of fun here. Look at the locals, the Red Baron dropping in. Everyone wants a piece of this action as the boys from It's About Time cruise past. Let's check in with Hog's Breath. They are the class leaders in the 400. They seem to be doing it fairly well in these conditions. Muddy, it is a tight class, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going. Hog's Breath's going really well. They got a Johnson outboard to Evinrude's, and then they're fighting against the Mercury, so good.
Well, I'll tell you someone who isn't doing it well, that is Quasi 2. We saw them have problems from the start, and their race is over here, race 1 here in Townsville. But Mustang, no, absolutely flying. Hate to say it against the Maritimo boys, but they are showing them up here this weekend.
Actually, the boats are actually really quite close. It's just getting through the traffic at the right time.
Yeah, and around those corners, Maritimo seem to be having the better of that, but Mustang in the straight line. But what about in the 1000s? We have 3 of them here flying into the final corner. The Global Racing boys there, Muddy said they'd be doing well.
Yeah, all these boats are really, really close at this stage.
Yeah, and they are coming down to the checkered flag. The good guys look to have it there. But Mustang, wow, look at this. They're posting their first victory of the season. The defending champs are back. Maritimo's had it all so far in 2011. Now it's the boys from Mustang.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The conditions were perfect and got a good start off the pole, so finally good to come home without having to get towed in, so that was good. Well, basically just nothing broke, went wrong, so it was all just running as it should, and yeah, it was good to not have any problems, and they've just been small problems all year, but they've cost us wins, so good to finally get one on the belt.
It's a really good feeling to be out there today, and now we have just to relax and settle down and be ready for the next race. Forget this one and maybe try to do it again.
Excellent start to the weekend. We didn't get the best start on the first turn. We were in last and then come through a very hard race to take out the first position, which was awesome.
Sort of nearly the same sort of setup, surprisingly, as last weekend. Boat was still hitting good speed, and we were still carrying pretty good corner speed, so we were happy with the boat. It was excellent.
Very exciting race, and winning always makes you smile more. But looked very rough through the week here, but it's cleared up on the weekend, and it's a little bit choppy, but all the boats can go almost full speed, so it's terrific.
Mackay was very, very rough, so the setup of the boat was completely different. We had to add extra ballast to the boat for Mackay to try and make it fly straight and keep it on the water. For this race being tighter, we've got rid of all the extra weight we've added on, lifted the engines a bit high to give us a bit more acceleration, a bit smaller in propeller, and the combination's working very well.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, let's check out the WHF race result leaderboard. Mustang there taking out their first race of the season in round 3 here in Townsville. In the 1000 class, the good guys getting home. Just what a battle that was. Team 3 claiming second. Global Racing in third, and Maslin, well, they didn't get across the start line. In the 600 horsepower BBC Digital, wow, the smallest boat out there, and didn't it fly. The power to weight ratio over Saracen and SUV Dodge Ram Quasi 2, well, both of them were DNFs. In the 400, Hog's Breath has that combination right. FGI home second, and it's about time in third. But we have a big problem here for Global.
Yeah, it looks like they've lost the piston off the trim cylinder. Not an easy fix here, but not a major.
Wow, what tragedy after setting themselves up so big for this weekend. It looks like it's over, but we're not. We'll be back shortly. Race 2, straight after this.